Hello, this is Margot Tripsa. Now I'm going to talk about G Suite. This is probably the most important tutorial of the orientation module. It is absolutely critical that you know these tips and tricks before you start using Google Apps or G Suite. This is some of the things I will cover in this tutorial. Google Chrome versus other browsers, Google Docs versus other word processors, attaching versus sharing, where you can find your usernames and passwords for all Google apps, about the Google menu icon, which is very important, also about the Google Drive app. Should you install it? Do you need it? If you do, what it would do for you? Stay organized, collaborate, and also syncing, working offline. Let's start with number one. It would be very helpful if you use Google Chrome for everything you do on your MacBook. Google Chrome integrates perfectly with all the other Google products. So for a seamless experience, you want to use everything that's good, and that's how you can avoid many compatibility issues. Also, you want to use Google Docs as opposed to using Word documents for the same reason. There are other reasons in addition to the compatibility issue. You can really work collaboratively with other teachers, or you can share a document with your supervisor or with your students. If you want to have your students work collaboratively, then you want to use Google Docs. And since the school adopted G Suite, you can make your life easier if you use Google Docs and not other word processors. Also, our devices don't come with Microsoft Word, which if you want to use it, you need to pay for it, while Google Docs is a free tool to use. Okay, now I should be talking about attaching versus sharing. I will show you how to share something with someone. So if you want to search for something in your email, you can just use this search tab. If you want to compose an email, you should not use this button, the attach files, for things that are in your Google Drive. If you have something in your Google Drive and you want to share it with somebody, there are three ways to do it. One is from your email. You go here, insert files, and then you need to find your files in here. You can search for it, or if you know what it is, you just share it with whoever you want to share it with. Or if you have the link, you can paste the link here. For instance, if I have this link and I want to share with somebody, I can say, here is my blog. And if you don't want the link to show, you highlight the words, go to the link icon, and then you paste your link. You should always test the link here. I really advise you to do so. Okay? If it works, okay, this is the one I want. Okay. And then you can send your email. So this is one way to share things. But if you don't want to do it this way, then you need to go to your Google Drive. And then if you want to share this document, for instance, I would just highlight the document, and I have two options. Either go here to this icon or get a link to the document, and then I can paste it in my email just like I showed you a while ago. So I can go there, and then I need to type somebody's email here. And then you need to make sure you look at the sharing options. You can give that person the right to edit the document, maybe just view the document or comment on the document. What you should also be very careful about is the fact that if you want to share a document with somebody who is outside of our organization, maybe you want to share something with a parent who has maybe a Gmail account but they don't have a Viscator email, they will not be able to see it. So this is an advanced feature. You need to click on advanced, and what you can see, all the documents you have are private. Unless you share them with somebody, they will not see them. So what you need to do is change this setting. You go to change, and what you can do is either make it public, but I don't think that's necessary. What you should do is click on anyone with the link, and then anyone with the link can view the document. You don't want the parents to be able to edit the document, right? And then save. And then you can either copy the link or you can add the email of the person who you want to share this document with, and then send. They will receive an email each time you share something with them. In the email, it will say that something was shared with them or somebody gave them access to a certain file. Okay? And the last way to share the document would be to right-click on the document, and then you will see these options again: share or get shareable link. You can choose either or. If you choose this one, now I can see that anyone with a link can view, not just a person who has a Viscator email. I can copy it, and then if I go to my email, I can paste the link in here. Now, something cool about Google Apps or G Suite. If you wonder where you can find your usernames and passwords for all the Google apps, then you need to know that you will be using the same username and password for all of them. Your school Gmail address and password is your unique ID and username for all the Google apps. The same thing applies to your students. So you don't need to create new usernames, and once you sign into your Gmail, you are already signed into many other Google products. Because you have a Viscator email, for instance, you and your students already have usernames and passwords for Google Site, Blogger, Google Classroom, and you even have your own YouTube channel. Okay, so these were the first 4 tips. Tip number 5 is the Google menu icon. This is a very important icon because you will be using it to navigate between all the Google apps. So the Google menu icon is the 9 little dots that show up at the top right-hand corner of your screen. Okay, so if you want to Google something, first you should look here to see if you see your picture. If it says sign in, then it means you need to sign in. Otherwise, you cannot navigate between your Google apps. So what I will do is I will sign out. And now you can see that, I'm not signed in. I can't really access my Google apps. To sign in, you just put your school email and password, and then you go to the 9 little dots, the Google menu, and then you can either go to your Drive, to your email, to your calendar. You can access Google Docs, sites, or Blogger. You can access your YouTube channel, your Hangouts, or Google Plus communities. So I will show you, for instance, if I go to Drive, my Drive shows up. And then if I want to go to my email, I will just go to the 9 little dots. I don't need to all the time use a browser. I go here and then I can access my email. It's that easy. Or if I want to see my websites, I'll go to sites, and then all the websites I have created or have been shared with me will show up there. Tip number 6. Should you have Google Drive installed or not? In my opinion, I think you should. If you don't install Google Drive, when you search for something online and you want to save it, you will be able to save it to your documents, but you will not see Google Drive here show up when you go to Finder. So what I advise you to do is go to Finder and see if Google Drive is one of the options. If it doesn't show up there, it means you don't have it. I think it's, like I said, it's important to have Google Drive because you can save things directly on your computer also. If you don't have it and you use it, it means you are using the cloud version. If you prefer not to have anything stored on your device, then what you will do is when you save your things into your documents or maybe into your downloads, you can drag them into your Google Drive online. That way you can have your files available to you online, but they will not be stored on your device. So it's a 2-step process. But if you install the app, that way you can save things straight into your Google Drive. Now I will show you how you can drag any files and save them into your Google Drive. So you need to open your Google Drive. You can just go to Google Drive, or maybe use the 9 dots to access the Google menu. And then if you have something on your flash drive or on the desktop of your MacBook, you just drag the file and let go of it. And then you will see it starts uploading. And pretty quickly it should be ready for you to use. So now I have the file here in my Google Drive. So you can do that to all the files you have, maybe from your previous school or any files you want to save online in the cloud. Tips you really can't afford to miss. So what happens if you decide to delete a file from your Google Drive app on your computer? You need to know that it will disappear from your cloud as well. And of course, if you delete a file that's online in your cloud, it will disappear from your MacBook as well. Also, if you add a file to your Google Drive app on your computer, it will also show up in the cloud as well. I covered part of number 8 here, talking about syncing. In the next tutorial, I will talk about how to use Google Drive effectively as a productivity tool, how to stay organized, collaborate, and also how to work offline.